When people think of U.S. Army Special Forces, one name echoes with quiet respect: the Green Berets. They are not just elite soldiers, they are teachers, force multipliers, and masters of unconventional warfare, with a history that traces back to the roots of guerrilla warfare and a mission set unlike any other in the U.S. military. The Green Berets are both warriors and diplomats capable of building armies, toppling regimes, and vanishing into enemy territory without a trace. The lineage of the Green Berets can be traced back to the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, during World War II, a shadowy organization that conducted espionage, sabotage, and irregular warfare in enemy-occupied territory. The OSS was the spiritual predecessor of not only the Green Berets but also the CIA and other special mission units. After the war, the United States realized the importance of maintaining an unconventional warfare capability. In 1952, Colonel Aaron Bank, a former OSS operative, established the 10th Special Forces Group, Airborne, at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. It was a unit with a specific focus: unconventional warfare, foreign internal defense, and guerrilla tactics. President John F. Kennedy was a strong advocate for special forces and even authorized the distinctive Green Beret as their official headgear in 1961, saying, "The Green Beret is a symbol of excellence, a badge of courage, and a mark of distinction. What sets the Green Berets apart isn't just their skill with weapons or survival, it's their mission set." While other special operations forces focus on direct action missions like raids or hostage rescues, the Green Berets specialize in unconventional warfare. This includes foreign internal defense, FID, training and equipping foreign militaries or resistance forces, unconventional warfare, UW, working behind enemy lines to build insurgencies, direct action, DA, precision strikes on high-value targets when necessary, counter-terrorism, CT, operating in coordination with other SOF units against terror networks, counter-proliferation and security force assistance, helping allies defend against nuclear, biological, or chemical threats. They are often referred to as force multipliers because a small team of Green Berets can train hundreds, even thousands, of local fighters to become effective combatants. This makes them strategically powerful in asymmetric conflicts. The Green Berets fall under U.S. Army Special Operations Command, USASOC, and are divided into Special Forces Groups, SFGs. Each group is regionally aligned to specialize in the culture, language, and geopolitics of their area of operations. There are currently 5 active duty groups and 2 National Guard groups. First, SFG, Pacific Command. Based at Joint Base Lewis McChord, focuses on Asia Pacific. Third SFG, Africa Command. Based at Fort Liberty, formerly Bragg, focuses on Sub-Saharan Africa. 5th Special Forces Group, Central Command. Based at Fort Campbell, responsible for the Middle East. 7th SFG, Southern Command. Based at Eglin AFB, covers Latin America. 10th SFG, European Command. Based at Fort Carson, operates in Europe and parts of Africa. 19th and 20th SFG, National Guard, support missions worldwide with soldiers from various states. Each Special Forces Group is composed of battalions, which are broken down into companies, and ultimately into Operational Detachment Alpha's ODAS, the core element of Green Beret operations. An ODA, often called an A-Team, is a 12-soldier unit, each member with a specific specialty. This mix allows ODAs to operate independently in hostile territory for extended periods, whether they are advising foreign forces, conducting reconnaissance, or building alliances. Becoming a Green Beret isn't just about physical toughness, it's about resilience, intelligence, and adaptability. The path begins with the Special Forces Assessment and Selection SFAS course. SFAS is a 24-day evaluation held at Fort Liberty. Candidates endure long-distance ruck marches, team events, and land navigation exercises with minimal instruction. There are no set scores or ranks, everything is assessed silently by cadre. The goal? To evaluate mental stamina, leadership under stress, and individual initiative. Those who pass SFAS are invited to attend the Special Forces Qualification Course, SFQC, also called the Q Course, which lasts between 12 and 24 months depending on the soldier's specialty. The Q course includes small unit tactics, patrolling, raids, ambushes, CRE, survival, evasion, resistance, escape, teaches survival in enemy territory, MOS training, medical, engineering, weapons, communications, or operations, Language school, learning a language relevant to the assigned group. Robin Sage. Exercise, a 4-week culminating mission where soldiers work with role players to lead a guerrilla force against a fictional government, the ultimate test of SF skills. Only after completing the Q course is a soldier awarded the Special Forces tab and Green Beret, symbolizing full entry into the Brotherhood. When we talk about the Green Berets, it's easy to focus on their training and secrecy, but what truly defines them is how they apply that training in real-world scenarios, often in some of the most complex, politically sensitive, and high-risk missions on Earth. Unlike many other special operations units that respond to global crises, Green Berets are already there. Thanks to the U.S. Army's regionally aligned Special Forces groups, there are ODAs embedded in allied nations on a near-continuous basis. Each Special Forces group specializes in a specific geographic region. First, SFG, Asia Pacific, often operating in the Philippines, Thailand, and Korea. Third, SFG, Africa, known for deep operations in the Sahel, Nigeria, and Somalia. Fifth, SFG, Middle East, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, this is their backyard. Seventh, SFG, South America, works in Colombia, El Salvador, and Central America. 10th, Special Forces Group, Europe, trains with NATO partners, operates in Ukraine and Eastern Europe. This regional alignment allows ODAs to master language, culture, terrain, and geopolitics, making them far more effective than units who parachute in cold. While much of what Green Berets do remains classified, several operations have entered the public record. These moments reveal their range, adaptability, and impact. In Vietnam, Green Berets played one of their most dangerous roles under Military Assistance Command Vietnam, Studies and Observations Group, MACV-ZOG. These were Black Ops missions deep into Laos, Cambodia, and North Vietnam sabotage, recon, and prisoner snatches. They operated in 6-man teams, often with no backup, carrying limited comms and relying on stealth, deception, and local knowledge. In the aftermath of September 11th, a small group of Green Berets from the 5th Special Forces Group were the first U.S. troops on the ground in Afghanistan. They linked up with Northern Alliance fighters and used horseback tactics, combined with modern laser-guided airstrikes, to defeat Taliban forces. Their story was later adapted into the film 12 Strong, and a statue honoring their bravery stands near Ground Zero in New York. 3rd SFG has spent decades in sub-Saharan Africa, working in places like Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Their missions focus on training local armies, advising on anti-terror ops, and stabilizing regions before they collapse. The 2017 ambush in Tongo, Niger, where 4 Green Berets lost their lives, revealed the dangers these quiet missions carry. 3rd SFG has spent decades in sub-Saharan Africa, working in places like Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Their missions focus on training local armies, advising on anti-terror ops, and stabilizing regions before they collapse. The 2017 ambush in Tongo, Niger, where 4 Green Berets lost their lives, revealed the dangers these quiet missions carry. Green Berets played a decisive role in Syria, embedding with Kurdish and Arab partners in the fight against ISIS. Their ability to train, arm, and coordinate with local forces allowed a small U.S. footprint to achieve massive battlefield gains. They directed airstrikes, coordinated logistics, and helped retake cities like Raqqa without directly leading conventional assaults. What separates the Green Berets tactically is their ability to operate in the gray zone environments where conventional war hasn't begun, but peace has already failed. At its core, UW is about empowering others to fight for themselves. Green Berets insert into hostile or denied areas, identify resistance movements, and help organize them into effective fighting forces. This includes training guerrillas in small unit tactics, intelligence gathering, communications and encryption, psychological operations, sabotage, and ambush planning. This model was tested successfully in Afghanistan in 2001 and remains the Green Berets' defining capability. In friendlier environments, ODAs conduct FID missions, strengthening the capabilities of partner militaries to handle internal threats. This training includes marksmanship, leadership development, medical training, and counter-IED skills. FID is what turns a weak ally into a self-sufficient fighting force. Though not their primary mission, Green Berets are fully capable of high-risk raids, HVT captures, and precision strikes. Many ODAs train and operate alongside units like Delta Force and Night Stalkers, 160th SOAR, to carry out DA missions in contested territory. Operating far behind enemy lines means ODAs must be self-sufficient, highly mobile, and logistically clever. Their tactics rely on stealth and flexibility, not brute force. Mobility, ATVs and dirt bikes for rugged terrain. MH-47 and MH-60 helicopters for fast insertion and exfil. Parachute drops Halo for covert arrival behind enemy lines. Boats and subs for maritime infiltration in coastal regions. Weapons and loadout. M4A1 carbines with SOP mod kits, optics, lasers, suppressors. MK-17 SCAR rifles, grenade launchers, and compact carbines for tight environments. Specialized medical comms and demo kits depending on the mission. They also carry language guides, cultural reference materials, and local uniforms or civilian clothes to blend in during low-profile ops. Perhaps their greatest strength is the Green Berets' ability to live, eat, and train with local forces. While other special operations units may conduct hit-and-run raids, ODAs are often embedded for months at a time. They build trust, gather intelligence, and understand the human terrain better than anyone else. This allows them to influence outcomes at a strategic level, even when they're operating in small numbers. They're not just soldiers, they are liaisons, teachers, and sometimes the deciding factor in whether a conflict escalates or resolves. America's enemies have evolved not just in uniform or tactics, but in how they wage war. The modern battlefield is decentralized, often invisible, and increasingly psychological. Conventional warfare alone is no longer enough. This is where the U.S. Army Special Forces, the Green Berets, shine. The core value of the Green Berets doesn't lie in flashy raids or media headlines. Their influence is long-lasting, strategic, and often invisible. Green Berets are strategic advisors, trainers, and network builders operating behind the scenes to shape outcomes before a single shot is fired. Modern conflicts don't always start with armies clashing on open battlefields. They begin with disinformation campaigns, insurgent buildup, and proxy warfare. Green Berets are trained to detect and respond to these threats early, often before the world even knows a war has started. Unlike most elite military units, Green Berets are trained to live among local populations, build trust, and train indigenous forces. Their operations often take place without traditional support, in hostile or politically sensitive environments. They are specialists in foreign languages and cultural immersion, advising both military and civilian leaders, guerrilla warfare tactics, and counterinsurgency, assisting marginalized groups to organize and defend themselves. This makes them uniquely suited for missions where the U.S. presence must be covert, discreet, or entirely unofficial. They are often the first Americans on the ground and the last to leave. They deploy with drones and ISR equipment for real-time surveillance in austere terrain, satellite communications and encrypted mobile gear for staying connected across continents, modular rucksacks and lightweight solar kits for extended autonomy. Personal weapons vary based on the mission, but often include the M4A1 with suppressors and optics, Glock 19 or SIG M17 pistols, and precision rifles for team-designated marksmen. Rather than relying on brute force, Green Berets depend on agility, stealth, and flexibility, enabling them to adapt and survive in environments where traditional forces cannot operate. One of the greatest misconceptions about the Green Berets is that they are pure direct-action fighters. While they are highly capable in combat, their true value lies in creation and empowerment. Key roles include building partner military forces, training allied soldiers, police, and militias to defend their own territory, strengthening civilian communities, supporting infrastructure, providing security, and enabling stability so that civilians reject insurgents, stabilizing politically fragile regions, acting as diplomats, influencers, and strategic liaisons where formal diplomats cannot go. Their ability to plant seeds of long-term security is unmatched in the special operations world. Green Berets are actively modernizing to counter the complex challenges of future conflicts, cyber-aware warfare, understanding and disrupting enemy digital communications and networks in denied environments, counter-disinformation training, teaching partners to recognize and resist foreign propaganda, leveraging open-source intelligence, OSINT, analyzing public data and social media to generate battlefield insights, operating in gray zones, situations that are politically sensitive where overt military action could backfire, but inaction is not an option. Green Berets are actively modernizing to counter the complex challenges of future conflicts, cyber-aware warfare, understanding and disrupting enemy digital communications and networks in denied environments, counter-disinformation training, teaching partners to recognize and resist foreign propaganda, leveraging open source intelligence, OSINT, analyzing public data and social media to generate battlefield insights, operating in gray zones, situations that are politically sensitive where overt military action could backfire, but inaction is not an option. They're preparing for battles fought not just with bullets, but with influence, narrative, and control over information. Perhaps the most defining strength of a Green Beret is their ability to lead without oversight. Each operational detachment, Alpha ODA team, is capable of planning and executing missions independently, advising foreign governments and local leaders without translators, making real-time strategic decisions based on ground intelligence. They are problem solvers, decision makers, and field commanders capable of changing the trajectory of a conflict far from headquarters. Green Berets are warriors, yes, but they're also educators who transform untrained locals into capable fighters, psychologists who understand human terrain and power dynamics, analysts who read political currents and anticipate insurgencies, planners who create enduring solutions, not just short-term wins. Their presence might never make the news, but their impact shapes battlefields before wars even begin. In a world of rapid change, hybrid threats, and invisible enemies, the Green Berets stand ready not as a hammer, but as a scalpel. They don't just enter a battlefield, they redefine it. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment so you don't miss out.